welcome back to another episode of Read Between the Signs. Today, this episode is brought to you by Pet Buddy. Pet Buddy have the most amazing natural dog treats. Now, we all know how much I love my dog Nelly, and Nelly does have natural, healthy treats. So if you want your dog to be having natural, healthy treats as well, then Pet Buddy is the go-to place to get your treats. So, today, me and Sophie are so excited about this guest that we have on today. Sophie's already a Cheshire cat. This guest we've been really, really excited to have on, and we're so excited for this episode and everything we're about to talk about. So, welcome to the podcast, Ruth. How are you?
Woohoo! Man, that is so. Can you be my hype girl? 24/7. Just following me around, hyping me up.
I do feel like that was the longest intro there. Like, I think I'm just so excited that we've got Ruth on. Like,
I know.
We've got Ruth. This is so exciting, but
we've actually been really excited. I think we've been excited because you've been watching us, but we've been watching you.
Oh, mate, thank you. That's so
it's
kind.
Sort of been like,
I love you already.
Sort of been,
like you just seem like really down to earth, like a really normal, nice person. Like,
hey, listen, I've got a bone to pick with both of you actually.
Oh,
because Summer was on, wasn't she? You had Summer on, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's my matcha?
Do you like matcha?
No, I hate it. But you should have. But you bought her one.
We bought you crumbled cookies.
Yeah.
Okay, you've pulled it back. Is it you that likes matcha?
I love matcha.
And you don't like it?
It's absolute
tastes like the garden bins, right? Doesn't it taste like the recycling? Like when you open the recycling grass bin in your bleh.
Oh my god!
No,
you've just
do you know what
brought
it
me
is?
Back to like 2000s. You know, like when that people used to chuck like dog poo bags or something.
Yeah, like the compost bin.
And then your mum and dad would be like, "Go and take the bin out," and you'd be like, "Oh, that's
what's
a bit."
That?
I'm really offended that you're comparing this to my favourite drink.
Yeah, but hang on a second. I think we need to be really clear here that you have it with white chocolate. But because that is to disguise the taste. When you were doing this whole thing and you were like, I've bought you a matcha Summer and it's here, it's right here, it's got white chocolate on it. I was sat there thinking, well, fucking hell, yeah, of course you like it with white chocolate in it. You can't taste the fucking
Have you tried
matcha.
it without white chocolate?
Yeah.
It's rank.
It wasn't great.
It was 30 seconds I've uncovered.
Yeah.
I've uncovered that actually you hate matcha.
So I think Ruth is here today to expose the truths within ourselves.
Yeah,
because I've already been exposed. Yeah, I'm a fraud.
I'm going to take you to psychologically safe spaces.
Oh no, I never even bothered to ask if she actually just liked matcha.
Well, the fact that she puts it with white chocolate means she does not like matcha.
You just
right?
like the white chocolate.
Why don't you just have like a white chocolate mocha or something? Just get rid of the matcha.
Because
you want Korean skin.
Yeah, I want to be cool. Everyone's drinking matcha. I want to fit in. I don't want to be left out.
Oh my God, to be 21 again. I want to drink matcha to be cool.
The Instagram stories look cool.
Yeah,
here
it's
I
the Instagram
am
stories. I'm like, oh, here I am again. Just another matcha, guys.
Just
like,
I haven't actually seen you post any matchas lately, though.
Yeah, do you know what I
She's gone off it.
I do it. No, I do it for a while. Yeah, no, it's an expensive hobby.
Your house every time you have one.
It's an expensive hobby, but when I go to Dubai, I want to get matcha out there and be like, wow, she's in Dubai and she's got a matcha.
I mean, that is influencer level.
Yeah.
We're going to have to put that on the pod page now. You're going to have to send me.
Where are you going to stay?
I'm staying in the Radisson in West Beach.
Right.
It's my favourite part. So we stayed in a hotel last year.
Have you been before?
Yeah, last year I went. I fell in love with it there. Absolutely love it there.
Right.
So the hotel we stayed in last year, it was, how can I say it? It was like not that great, basically. Right. I complained about the food in there. I was being a little bit of a Karen. Do you know how nice they are? They are out there. Do you know what they did?
What?
They brought the head chef out to have a meeting with me about the food.
That's not nice. That's throwing you under the bus.
And I was like, I was thinking, oh my God, like now I've got to act like I know about taste. So I sat there and I was like, yeah, do you know what? Like, I think what you need here is maybe like a side of chicken nuggets over there. And like, he was probably thinking, this silly girl, he's bringing out all these like platters of like sushis. And I'm like, I think you need some chicken nuggets here, mate.
What was it?
No, do you know what? It was like sloppy.
Right.
Yeah, like that kind
of...
You
don't like it sloppy?
No.
I don't think anyone likes it sloppy.
You don't like it sloppy?
No, do you know like when you go to some all-inclusives and it's like just...
I've never done... Oh, I've done an all-inclusive once. Hated it.
Yeah. So
Absolutely
that kind of bad all-inclusive. I like the all-inclusive where you've got like pancakes for breakfast, chicken nuggets for dinner. That's my kind.
Right. So that's the all-inclusive that I hate.
Yeah. So that's my
like
favourite.
opposite ends of the spectrum, right?
So anyway, yeah, had the meet with the head
I
chef.
think I'm with Emily on this one.
But yeah,
just
the
walk to the
hotel...
local McDonald's.
Yeah,
That's what me
but
and
that's the
Connor
thing.
do.
It wasn't nearby.
Do
But
they have McDonald's in Dubai?
Yeah, we
you
also
get
do.
gluten-free in Dubai.
Have you been, Ruth? Did
Never.
you like it?
I would really like to go. There's a part of me that's like, I would really like to go, and there's another part of me that doesn't really want to. But I think it's one of those places that I just want to say I've done it, right? Like,
I feel the
I've
same.
ticked it off. I've done a few days. I'd probably do it as a stopover. If I ever went back to Australia, which I'd love to do, I'd probably do it as a layover and then go on somewhere else. But my parents went last February, loved it, just went for 5 days. So I definitely think it's a place I'd like to tick off, right?
I do feel like a lot of people get a little bit scared to go there because they hear they've got really strict rules. It's really like, you know, you have to be really careful things that you do there. But my experience was completely opposite.
Right.
Like, the people were so lovely.
Yeah.
Like, I had my shoulders out in the mall and I never got in trouble, but I have heard some people have, but they don't actually tell you off. They just say, oh, excuse me, ma'am, would you mind covering up? Like, just to be respectful.
Yeah.
And if you're going over to that kind of country, you just got to be mindful and respectful of their religion and their rules anyway. And that's what I was doing. So it wasn't like that I
wasn't
had
a
to...
problem.
Yeah, it wasn't... Anything I did wasn't a problem.
Right.
So... Yeah, I did really like it. If you're respectful and understand there may be rules in their culture, then it's not as bad.
Yeah.
So,
I'd like to go,
Well, let's take it back.
Okay.
Throwback. Who are you and what do you do?
Oh, God, who am I? What a question. I didn't realise this was going to be a therapy session. So I suppose in terms of a public kind of Instagram space, my platform probably started to rise. And look, my corner of Instagram is tiny, but it probably became bigger when I started to talk about infertility. So I live childless. I suppose the sentiment that you would use would be childless, not by choice. I don't really use the not by choice stuff anymore because I feel like I've worked through that, but started to share a little bit of my story and the kind of heartbreak, I suppose, that comes from not doing the thing that lots of women do really easily, which is have a baby. And it's, that kind of journey and that time was really tough. I don't know how much you want me to talk about that. I'm happy to talk about it.
We want to hear about it. Only if you're happy to talk about
absolutely.
it.
So Matthew, my husband's called Matthew. Matthew and I got married in
Hi, Matthew.
He won't listen. He never listens to anything.
Oh, bye, Matthew.
What an absolute answer. He doesn't even listen to my podcast.
Offended.
Yeah, absolutely offended. So we got married in 2012 and we decided really quickly that we wanted to grow our family. And I suppose that's something that language of growing our family is something that I talk about a lot rather than starting our family, because I think there's so many couples out there that don't go on to have children that feel like they're not a family, and that's just not true. That's a lie. So we tried to grow our family. I got pregnant in 2013 and was like, wow, amazing. This is great. Like, this is going to happen for us really quickly. And then we sadly had a miscarriage, lost that pregnancy. And then I've never, as far as I know, I've never been pregnant again. And it was kind of 5 years of trying to have a baby and nothing really happening. And I kept knocking on the door of the GP and I was just told that I needed to go away and lose weight. That was kind of the easiest thing for them to put it down to. And I think there's a really interesting narrative around kind of fat phobia in the NHS and the way that people in bigger bodies are treated. And unless you've really experienced that, it's really hard to explain or understand what that feels like. So kept knocking on the door of the GP. She kept telling me that I needed to lose weight. So I did. I went away and lost 3 or 4 stone and still nothing changed. And then I found a GP that took me seriously, really, and she sent me for tests and I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And then more recently, I've had a diagnosis of endometriosis. We were offered an appointment on the NHS in January 2018, and it was like I put all of my eggs in that basket. And I remember the morning of us going, and we arrived at the John Radcliffe Hospital, and I just remember thinking, oh my God, this is it. Like, we're going to talk about how we're going to grow our family. And, I'd kind of pictured this like amazing thing that would happen. And it was the worst appointment of my life, really. The consultant was an arsehole, really. And I look back now, and if I was the person that I am now, there would have been way more challenge in that room of him, and there definitely would have been a complaint. But I was so broken, I just didn't really have it in me. So we go in and we sit down, and he's talking about all of the kind of stuff that we could do. And I just said to him, and on the piece of paper in front of him, he'd written IVF. And I just said to him, like, when would we discuss treatment? And he just put a big cross through IVF. And he just said, oh no, you're too old and too fat for that.
Oh my God.
I just remember going, right, okay, he told me the only way I'd be a mum is if I had a gastric band. He told Matthew that he wasn't the problem because he's got super sperm, which was like a real fucking punch in the face, right? And he wanted to weigh me, and him and I had this kind of standoff. I'm bawling my eyes out. He's like, I really need to weigh you. And I'm like, why? Why the fuck do you need to weigh me? He's like, well, I should really put down your weight. It's why? You've already told me I'm too old and too fat for IVF.
How old was you?
35 at that point.
35?
Wow.
Yeah, so the cut-off for NHS Trust Milton Keynes, which is what we came under, is 35, and I was 35 turning 36. So if you get to 35 and you haven't grown your family and you live under the NHS Trust of Milton Keynes, you're done. You'd have to go private. So we finish this appointment, we leave, and really the next 18 months that followed, quite frankly, and I mean, I'll try and keep it light, but it's the worst 18 months of my life. I've never really felt as broken as I did. I couldn't look at anybody that was pregnant. I felt like all of my friends were shaking hands and having a baby. I was like stood outside looking into a glass house and everybody was happy, and I was like, oh my God, I'm just on the sidelines. And I became a shell of myself, really. I just lost all focus, all hope. And infertility is a really difficult one because it's like a grief without a loss, eh? So if you phone your boss up and say, oh, my mum died, everybody goes, oh my God, take as much time as you need, like, go back to bed. If you phone your boss up and say, I've come on my period today, it's like, right?
Yeah.
But what people don't realise is that every month that you come on your period is like you start a grief cycle all over again.
Yeah.
Or every time you do a pregnancy test and it's negative. And there was one particular morning, so I hadn't had a period for about 95 days. And when you're trying for a baby and you don't have a period for 95 days, you're definitely pregnant, right?
Yeah.
So I'd filled my basket on John Lewis full of baby stuff. I was like, this is it. I remember saying to Matthew, I'm going to do a pregnancy test tomorrow. I'm working from home. This is it. This is the moment. I got up really early that morning. It was a Wednesday in September. Went into the bathroom, did the pregnancy test. It was negative. And I have never experienced before or since a kind of pain or grief like it. And I laid on the bathroom floor and I just let out this cry that was like guttural. It was like primal, really. It just was like from the depth of me. And I got back into bed and I told Matthew it was negative and he started crying too. And I think what's really interesting for couples that experience infertility is that you learn very quickly about how the other one grieves. And I suppose, you know, when you're in a long-term relationship with somebody, you kind of think that stuff will come when one of their parents dies, or you don't realise, you know, we're really quick into our relationship, Matthew and I, and we're already starting to have conversations about how he wants to grieve this and how I want to grieve this. So we went to this appointment. The next 18 months were just horrendous. And then in the July of 2019, it sounds really weird, but we were living in a rented house at the time, and no shade to anyone that rents, but it just felt like we hadn't grown up. Like, we couldn't make jokes about our mortgage and we couldn't make jokes about sleepless nights. Like, all of our friends were living this life. And then Matthew's grandma died and she left us some inheritance and we bought a house with it. And I remember stepping over the threshold of that house and just kind of sighing and thinking, right, okay, Ruth, this is it now, right? And I stood in the box room of that house and I looked around and I just thought, I wonder. And I remember standing there and crying and thinking, I wonder if this will ever be the nursery that I so desperately want it to be. And I just sat on the floor in that room on my own. And I just thought, what are you going to do here? Like, where does this end, I suppose? And it makes it sound like those 18 months just happened. But I went to a lot of therapy and I lamented. And that's like a biblical word, right? It's not really a word that we'd use anymore. But like, from deep grief does come deep joy. I'm a real believer of that. Those moments that we have to lean into that feel really deeply painful for us. If we do it in the right way, you can come out the other side. And so I sat in this room and I was like, I don't know that I can do this anymore. I just don't know. So Matthew and I had a conversation and I said to him, I think I'm done. Like, I can't try. And we did something really weird in the infertility space. We started to use contraception, and that's a really interesting. There's loads of couples that would be like, you did what? Oh my God, that's like what? But for me, I had to put a stake in the ground, right? I had to say the old is gone, because if you're trying for a baby and you have sex, you'll tell yourself you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And that was the rat race I couldn't do anymore. That was the cycle that I couldn't continue doing. And then from the October of 2019, I just slowly piece by piece, bit by bit, started to rebuild myself, I guess. 2020 lockdown happens. My sister and I did something that loads of people did in lockdown and said, let's just start a podcast, right? Just start a podcast. So we started our podcast called Finding the Funny. We didn't have a clue what we were doing. We recorded it on Zoom. The first episode of Finding the Funny is like the shittest episode of a podcast you could ever listen to. It's edited by me, which is really
What did you use to edit it?
Oh, I think I used GarageBand or something off of Mac. Like, honestly, GarageBand.
Like iMovie.
Yeah, basically. Honestly, I listen back now, and part of me's like, we should archive that stuff. And then I think, no, man, that's
funny.
like from that to this is where. Anyway, so we recorded it, we put it out, and 150 people listened. And I remember FaceTime with my sister going, holy shit, 150 people listened to this podcast. What the hell? And I suppose through that, there was a sense of there's a space for everyone at the table. And that is sort of the life that I'm in now. Like that doesn't mean that my childlessness doesn't affect me. And that doesn't mean that story of infertility is tied up in a nice box and it's over there. I sort of liken it to, you know, when you put a jumper on and there's a scratchy label in it, and sometimes the label scratches you all day and you're like, oh, that fucking label's so annoying.
It's always there.
And then other times you put the jumper on and you don't feel it. And you're like, oh, it's okay today. And that's really what I would say my childlessness is like now. Less days now where I feel the scratchy label. But I suppose what it taught me is that there is a space for everyone at the table, and that you don't have to accept crumbs. There is something in this world that you're meant to do, and that might not be a podcast. It might not be having a kind of small Instagram following. It might not be talking about this stuff, but there is a space for everyone. And when we lean into the stuff that feels really painful for us, and when we lean into our grief, something magical can start to happen. And whilst that feels desperately painful at the time, this is my miracle, right? I didn't get a miracle baby. I didn't get a rainbow baby. I didn't leave the hospital with the picture of Matthew carrying a car seat and me behind. I didn't get to do the gender reveal. I didn't get to do all that stuff. But this is my miracle. This is living this life as a woman and saying, I've got as much right to be here as the Mum Club have. That's sort of my miracle, I guess.
Oh, that's really beautiful.
Really, really beautiful way to put
Ruth.
that. And you know what as well? I feel like a lot of people and women in similar situations are going to feel comfort knowing that they're not alone, and, you know, they've experienced maybe what you've experienced. And hearing similar stories can really help validate somebody and not make somebody feel like there's something wrong with me and, you know, why can't I have a baby and things like that. And knowing obviously people know it is happening to other women, but when they really hear from a real person that deep side and experience, like you explaining the grief and everything that comes with it and validating those feelings of somebody, it probably means so much to people.
And comparison is the thief of joy, right? That is true. The whole time I'm looking over my garden fence at what my neighbour's got, I'm missing what's blooming in front of me. And that you know, and there's so many amazing things about social media, and I get messages from women all the time who are like, you know, I'm starting to kind of get to grips with living childless. Your story really helps me. And that's why I started to share my story, because I couldn't find somebody that told a story like me. And there's so many people in the fertility space who amazingly and joyfully get their baby, right? They do 15 rounds of IVF and they get their baby. We never tried treatment. It was something that I just couldn't go down. We toyed with going into Europe. I just couldn't cope if it hadn't have worked or it have ended in loss. It was like a space I couldn't go to. But lots and lots of people in the fertility space get their baby. And so then what the person without the baby does is compare to them. And that is what steals your joy eventually. Yeah. And the moment that you go, parenting's hard, living childless is hard, right? Being married is hard, getting divorced is hard. You know, that whole thing of choose your hard. Now, I didn't choose not to have kids, but both of those things are hard. Being a parent's fucking hard work. It's not roses, and, you know, you can have kids that get estranged from you and don't talk to you, and raising children is really difficult. Living childless is hard. But actually, my choice is to say I'm going to bloom where I am, and just because I didn't get that, it doesn't mean I can't flourish.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
You know?
I'm really happy that you have obviously got to that point where you are feeling that way. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I know that it's obviously clearly taken a while, but you're allowed to take as much time as you need in any situation. And like you said, even if that scratchy label does come back sometimes, then you are absolutely entitled to feel the way you do. It's your story. And like you said, not everyone has the same life, nor does anyone have the same story. Some people, might be on the same, would have been on the same path of you, and like you said, might have gone on to have a baby, but there are plenty of women that do come and reach out to you. So I think what you're doing is beautiful, because I don't think it's spoken about enough. And that is the reason how I found you a few years ago. And I don't know if you remember, but I actually messaged you, and at the time you and, is it Anne, your sister, you were on Instagram Live, and you were talking about your fertility. Right. And I'd just been diagnosed with polycystic ovaries. Right. And I remember messaging you saying, like, you know, your live really made me laugh, and it was just nice.
Did I message back?
Yeah. We voice noted, actually.
Thank fuck for that. But imagine if you'd have been like, I messaged you this really heartfelt message and you fucking ghosted me.
I don't actually know how I ended up following you. I'm not even sure. Maybe I saw a Instagram post. You know, like your phone talks to you. Maybe you did post something about your fertility, and I can't remember. But that is how I found you. And even back then at the beginning of my journey, and you probably was midway through or nearing toward the end, without being harsh, I found comfort in you by you being so honest about polycystic ovaries. Is a fucker, man.
Oh mate, it's hideous,
honestly.
And look, the thing is it's so misunderstood,
and it's so common as well.
But also it's so misunderstood because there's this whole narrative around polycystic ovarian syndrome and polycystic ovaries that if you lose weight it will cure you, and that is just not true. It is a fundamental diagnosis that means that your reproductive systems don't work properly. Now, is weight a factor? Yeah, probably. But there's loads and loads of women who aren't overweight who have got polycystic ovaries. That's the fact of it, right? And the thing that frustrated me, I remember once when I went to the hospital because I had gallstones, and the consultant said to me, "We can't remove your gallstones because you're too overweight." And I said, all right, okay. And then she said, this is absolutely dead true. She put a leaflet across the table to have a gastric band, right? So it's the same operation, both keyhole. And I looked down, and I was feeling more ballsy by this point. I was literally at the point where I was like, fuck you, NHS, I'm not having this. And I just frowned at her, and she said, is everything okay? I said, you do understand that you don't want me to have this operation because it's too risky, but you want to make me thin, so you'll give me this operation. This is not about the pursuit of health. This is about the pursuit of thinness. And this is about you wanting everybody to be thin. She didn't know what to say. Oh, well, you know, what are you going to tell me? There's less risk with this gastric band than there is with removing my gallstones. It's bullshit. And that's the problem. As soon as you walk into a doctor's room with anything, like I could stub my toe and the doctor would say to me, oh, it's because you're fat. I've got tonsillitis. No, it's true, right, though?
Oh my
God.
God.
That is true. Oh, I stubbed my toe this morning. I think it's broken. Yeah, it's because you're fat. What? It's so lazy. It's such lazy medical advice. And the risk is that fat people don't go to the doctors.
No.
Because they're too scared.
Yeah, that is so sad.
It's true.
It is sad.
You can walk, I've got tonsillitis.
No, it is bad.
Well, yeah, I went in with tonsillitis and the GP was like, I really think we need to weigh you. What? You've probably diagnosed 5 or 10 people today with tonsillitis. Have they all been fat? No. Well, then shut the fuck up.
I went to the GP on Wednesday and she was like, I need to weigh you. And I was like, I can tell you how much I weigh. And she was like, no, Miss Taylor, I really need to weigh you. And I was like, I've just weighed myself so you don't weigh me. I can tell you by the dot. And when I got on, she was like, oh, well, you don't look like you weigh that. And then
so
I was
rude.
like, yeah, I know. So I literally sat there and I was like, you need to help me then. Do you know what I mean? I was so in a bad mood that day anyway. But that is the first thing they say, in, like you said, in any, I mean, the way for that appointment, that it was quite a little bit of a factor. Do you know what I mean? But that is their easy route.
Easy.
All the time.
Easy.
But then what about mental health then? If someone, like a bigger person, maybe went in for an appointment.
Oh, they'd say go to the gym, lose weight, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But then that's so dangerous.
Yeah. And until you've experienced it, until you've had that, like, moment where you walk in and you think, oh God, they're going to... And I actually now have it on my records that I don't want to be weighed and I don't want to talk about my weight. I mean, I'll come on to talk about my weight in a minute, but because I just got so tired of going in saying, I've got a chest infection. Oh, we really should weigh you. I just want to know what weight you've put. Well, I've got a chest infection. You can see I'm really poorly. Just give me my antibiotics.
It's like negligence, isn't it?
Oh, total
negligence.
That
is really bad.
Yeah, it's the easy way out.
Yeah.
The NHS is definitely fat phobic. And you know that from the fact that a consultant told me, I can't take your gallstones out, but you can have a gastric band. I mean, that just sums up that it's about the pursuit of people being thin and not about the pursuit of being healthy.
I
That's
think
the difference.
The thing that really hurts my feelings is that if somebody's struggling with infertility, you get a bigger person or a skinnier person, but they both have the same issue, infertility. They're probably, now hearing from what you're telling me, they're probably more willing to give that helping hand out to the skinnier person. But why? They both deserve to have a child. They both deserve help.
Exactly that.
Why has their weight got to go into that at all?
Well, BMI is a marker for fertility treatment, and BMI is a crock of shit, right? Like it was started years ago. It's like you multiply a number by this number and that's what your BMI should be. It's like it is not about health. BMI is such a crock of shit.
And even bodybuilders who like their BMI, they're classed as like very obese and things like that, because that's what I learned in school and I thought, wait, what? That don't make sense.
I'm judged at the moment in my situation on my BMI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's BMI. And BMI is just, there's nothing about BMI that is remotely centered in health. It's like you multiply this number by that number and it gives you a magic number that you should be. But BMI is used for everything. So if you want fertility treatment, you've got to have a BMI of 35 or less. They will not look at you.
Up until 30.
Oh, maybe it is 30, maybe it's gone down. Private clinics, so there's a couple of private clinics. There's New Life Fertility in Essex, who are absolutely sensational. They're a really, really great clinic, and they will work with women safely and healthily if they've got a higher BMI.
Just before you go on there, Ruth, I know you just said that these people are really good. For anyone who's listening who maybe is struggling with their infertility, what places could you recommend which have been really helpful and things like that? So that'd probably be quite good to know.
There's a girl on Instagram called Amber Rizzo. You should definitely get Amber on this podcast. She is a complete powerhouse. She actually got fertility treatment reinstated on the NHS in Peterborough. So she started a campaign called Fight for Infertility. She doesn't have fallopian tubes. I mean, if you get her on, I'll let her tell you your story. I won't rob her of that.
Speak soon, Amber.
Yeah, she's great. She's really great. And she's done so much in the fertility space. And her story is really fascinating. And I think she is somebody that really tries to kind of talk fairly about infertility and the way that infertility treatment should be given. If for people who are fat, living in bigger bodies, obese, whatever is the term that people feel comfortable with, there's a woman on Instagram called Fat Positive Fertility. Her name's Nicola Salmon, and she is also absolutely brilliant at helping. And I wish I'd found Nicola before I went for my consultation on the NHS, because she's so empowering around people in bigger bodies and the way that we navigate kind of health stuff. If people are childless, there's a woman called Kelly Da Silva. She's really great, and she talks about living childless. And there's another woman, and I can't remember her name. Oh, Jodie Day. So she runs an amazing project for women who are living childless. But in terms of clinics, we obviously never went down the route. But New Life are a clinic that will definitely work with women who have a bigger BMI, and they advocate for the fact that pregnancy and IVF can be done safely with women in bigger bodies, and so they're definitely a clinic to look out for.
That's really good.
That's really,
and I feel like they shouldn't judge. I don't understand why, because I know somebody who is a bigger person and she carried kids. So why is that even? Why are they? Well,
it becomes about money, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it becomes and look, that is a political thing, that the NHS isn't a bottomless pit and they've got to cut it off somewhere. So the easy people to go for is the fat people, because it's not aesthetically pleasing. It's the Wonder Bra model was the Wonder Bra model because of what she looked like, right? And blokes would drive down the motorway and see her and clock her, and so what we've learned is that this aesthetic of what women should look like, marked by the patriarchy, I suppose, and the way that women should exist and be, is infiltrated into every single part of life. And so, as a woman, if you don't react in the right way, if you're too challenging, if you're too loud, if you're too gobby, if you don't look right, if you're too big, if you're too skinny. Like, I think there's loads of women out there that are on the opposite end of the spectrum. You know, if you don't sit where the patriarchy wants you to sit, and they can go, oh yeah, this is the kind of woman that I want, then you're out, eh? That's it. That's the bottom line. And that's why juggling being a woman is so difficult, because...
Especially in this day and age with, like, everything trying to be more fairer and, like, you know, I can't really explain it, but, like, we do more, don't we? So the fact that women are still... They're being helped, but it's like, we'll help you too, however we want to.
Oh yeah, and I think the undercurrent of the patriarchy, and my sister gets so, she's like, oh my God, the patriarchy, sister. She's not into it as much as I am, so she just religiously takes the piss out of me for it. But you know, if you drill it down, like, marriage, right, was to hold women down, eh? It was about buying land. It was about like, marriage is the stupidest thing anybody could ever do in their life now.
Please don't say that.
Oh, mate, honestly,
I'm going through trying to pressure my boyfriend to propose to me at the moment.
Married.
Please don't. I hope he's not listening to this.
Why do you want to get married? Because look, the reason marriage was started was...
I really do want to get married. I really want to get engaged. I really want to get married.
Why?
I'd like to be engaged, but I wouldn't like to...
Why?
Because I want to have a big wedding.
Right, so just have a massive party with all the people that you love.
Yeah, but I want to wear the big white dress. I want to have the big venue.
Why do you need... Because, look,
I don't care about the piece of paper, to be fair.
Well, there you go then. So just have a massive fucking party, invite all your friends,
and then go on holiday after.
And then just go on holiday.
Yeah.
Because people lived till they were 36 when marriage started, right? Nobody was living past 36. So till death do us part was easy.
Yeah.
Right? Till death do us part now.
How far ago was that?
Oh, when marriage was started, it was all about having land. It was about holding women down. People weren't living as long as...
2012.
No, people didn't. When marriage first started, right, people didn't live as long as they do now. So when you stood at the altar and said, till death do us part, it was like, that's probably going to be in 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, till death do us part now, fucking hell. I hope I live for another 40 years. Oh my God. Like,
Don't start talking to me. Honestly, I had a breakdown.
Phobia of death.
I don't know what happened to me, but in April I come over this massive fear of death. And I was in Tenerife, and I lost a stone on holiday because I stressed myself out so much. I don't know what happened to me. I've turned nuts. Ruth
doesn't know what to say.
I was speechless, which happens very rarely.
I don't even know why I'm telling the world this, but like, I literally was on the lazy river at Syon Park. It was my 26th birthday. Me and Connor were like, and I remember Connor was going, should we go again down the slide? And I remember my eyes just got feeling like they just went huge, like I took something. And I was like, get me off this inflatable right now. And I just went mental. Like, I was like, oh my God, where do we go? What happens? And I sound crazy, but I honestly, something come over me and I can't explain it. And for the rest of my 5-day holiday, all I wanted to do was sleep. I ruined my whole holiday. And when people were telling me, I'm going to Tenerife, I'm like... I'm going to. Good luck with that. I really want to go back with Connor for 48 hours just to do the water park.
What's Syon Park like? I'm intrigued.
Oh,
I
loved it so much, and I really did try, but I don't know what happened to me.
I think we should all go on a trip together for Tenerife.
Oh my God!
Should we actually go Syon Park?
Let's go Syon Park. Let's get it booked, bro.
Go down on the lazy river.
Let's get it fucking booked. Listen, I'm not leaving this building until Tenerife is booked.
Oh, sweet.
But you've got.
I'm scared now.
You've got to promise me that you're not going to go crazy. Because if you're going to go crazy, it's just an Emily and Ruth thing.
Yeah, I will be on the float together like, woo!
I'll be sitting like this.
I'm going to die.
Honestly, I went mental, but I'd actually really love to go Syon Park
Right,
with you, and we are definitely going. Dan, do you want to come?
Danny up to Syon Park. Girls on tour. Can we have T-shirts?
Oh my God,
yeah.
I've never done a girls' holiday.
Yes,
I was too frightened at school. I've never done a girls' holiday.
48 hours in Tenerife.
Oh my God.
But
messy,
right?
right?
They've got a strip there and everything. But I did get robbed in Tenerife.
Oh, we're not
my
selling
God,
it to
you two are selling Tenerife massively, aren't you? Any travel companies listening want to sponsor the pod?
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
She went to Tenerife and nearly died. You went to Tenerife and got robbed.
Yeah.
Tui, if you're listening, we are up for sponsors. Other travel companies are available.
Yeah, please. Honestly, seriously, because Christmas is coming, funds are low.
We all need some winter sun. Listen, let's do it. Girls' holiday, Syon Park. I really want to go to Syon Park.
It was so good.
I've been before, but we went.
You've done the double.
Well, because I Tenerife again because we were like, oh my God, we had the best time. It was our first holiday together.
You stayed. I know where you stayed.
And hang on. So you went to Tenerife the first time.
Yeah.
Fucking whale of a time.
Best time ever.
Went back.
I literally like fell in love with Connor all over again.
Oh,
I was at 3
Connor,
years
we
later.
love you.
Honestly, 3 years later, went for my 26th birthday. I hate birthdays
Absolute
anyway.
crock of
Oh, I
shit.
love birthdays.
I honestly had
what's
the
your star
worst
sign?
time.
Taurus.
Oh, really?
And I am an out Taurus.
When's your
through and
birthday?
through, May the 6th.
Oh, okay.
I am a Taurian through and
I don't
through.
really understand this. You would.
Oh, I'm a Leo, but my mum's a Taurus. Yeah, so I know Tauruses
Oh my
very
God,
well.
I reckon I am actually your mum.
Yeah, I think you are.
I'm an Aries.
Oh, I love my fire. My fire sign. I'm a fire
Aries. So
sign
when
too.
are you born?
3rd of April.
3rd of April. Oh yeah, Aries are right. Actually, I'm getting confused. One of my
I'm all right.
one of my closest friends is an Aquarius, and oh
I
my
don't really
God,
understand it. I'm not going
Don't
to
Do
lie.
you
put a
like
Taurus in
Leos?
Aquarius. My brother's a Leo.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
Leos are the best.
We'll get on to whether we like him.
Oh.
No, I do. I absolutely adore him.
I was thinking, oh
That
my
is-
God.
Were you thinking we've got an exclusive? Bam!
No, I was thinking
James
shit.
Corden's sister says she doesn't really like it.
Wait, say that again so we can clip that.
I absolutely
Leo,
adore
though?
him.
What month is that?
James is born in August.
Yeah. So
22nd.
22nd of August. I'm the 1st of August, so I am the best. I am like I lead all the
What,
Leos
you-
in to the month.
Like the Pied Piper. Back off, guys. I'm the best. I lead you fuckers in. I lead all the Leos in.
Yeah, no, I do.
Hilarious. Here I am, leading the Leos.
Emily actually does that mediumship and tarot cards.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can you give me a reading?
I can't do it right now because I'm not like I have to be like.
She gave me a
zoned in.
reading, and this
Yeah.
was before we knew each other.
Yeah.
and it was like bang on. I couldn't believe it.
Shut the front. I'm
So
loving
I'm
this
like
shit.
a really spiritual, crazy, and like when me and my boyfriend have an argument, he goes, "Oh, shut up! You're a witch anyway." Like that's what he said to me the other day. He called me a
Not
witch.
bitch,
Own
witch.
it.
Yeah, not bitch. I'm a
Own it.
witch.
Own
Yeah.
it. And what's
So,
your point?
but my nan who passed away before I was born, she was all into things like this. Like she did tarot cards. I think she actually was a witch as well. Like, I think
where do
she
you
did.
live?
I live actually 15 minutes from here. So should
Right.
we just go and do some spiritual stuff?
Mate, I am so
Ruth will be in your
down.
bedroom in an hour. I'll be sitting on the bed just watching.
Ruth's gonna
scrolling.
Ruth's gonna be like this, zoned in completely.
I'm going to be like,
I do Reiki, I do mediumship, I do tarot readings, I
am so
yeah.
into it. I really want a reading, but I want it with someone decent that isn't going to be like, yeah.
She is
so-
very good, and also the mediumship. You've got videos on your
Yeah,
TikTok.
I've got like highlights, like so I've got clips.
You've
of,
just gained a new stalker.
I've
Congratulations.
got clips
Mate,
of
I'm going to be all over your TikTok.
yeah, no, I do love I do TikTok lives and things like that.
Yeah,
That's
she
where a lot
does.
of people find me, but I love doing it, and it's like giving somebody that what's the word?
Right, can
Like,
I ask you a
comfort.
question about
Yeah, go
this,
on.
right? So what if you're doing a reading
Yeah.
and you think, shit, what's coming down the path for this guy is awful?
That never happens to me. The readers that do get negative messages are working either with a bad spirit or they have something bad connected to them. Now, even if my client has bad entities connected or attached to them, when I'm reading them, I don't see or feel that because I only work with light beings. It's impossible. If I wanted to tell somebody like, I don't know, you get some readers that say you're going to be really sick or something really bad will happen to you.
God, Tenerife.
You get, yeah.
You better not tell me when we're on that lazy river,
Part
Emily.
2, here we go.
You do
Tenerife
get
part
some-
2.
I'm not going in the hole again.
You do
fucking
get some
Cyan
readers
Park.
that do that, but for me, I can't do that. I don't work on that wavelength where I'll receive messages like that. And if you ever do go for a reading with someone and they start telling you like really bad
Get out.
things, yeah, you need to
Get out.
leave. You need to cleanse your energy. They've got
Cleanse
something
your
attached.
chakra.
Yeah. Do some Reiki.
Open up your chakras.
Yeah.
Me and my
That's
sister
it.
take the piss out of this stuff on the podcast.
Oh, great.
I don't, because I'm into it, but my sister is like, oh my God, that's
You're
such
talking
a
about like
bullshit.
them gurus who are like, right, ladies,
Cleanse
you need
your
to
chakras.
cleanse and like,
So what does your
yeah.
sister think of like death?
Oh.
No, because she doesn't believe in it. She doesn't believe in it.
Guys, this has taken
So,
a
I
dark
just wanna
turn.
know
No,
if
she doesn't believe in death. I think we all believe
No,
in death.
I mean like, if doesn't believe, does she believe in the tarots and
No, she would believe in an afterlife, though.
Oh, the That's reassuring. Thanks, Ange. That's another
She
person
just
on my
isn't
list that
into,
believes.
like she, you know, I'd often say to her, "Oh, Ange, Mercury's in retrograde."
Oh yeah, it is at the moment.
I know it is.
It is at the moment,
case
and
of
I've got a
please
flight
tell me.
coming up. Yeah, you know what that
Don't
means.
get on a flight.
No,
if you've got problems
please.
about
Do you know what
going.
my dream was 2 nights ago?
Tell
And
me
this is on the
immediately.
podcast, so this is marked. So
Tell
if this
me
happens, I need to touch
immediately.
wood. But I had a dream I was in a plane crash. But I was sitting in
Wait, why
business
would you
class,
put
so
that-
it's all
Oh,
right.
fine, you're fine.
Yeah.
No, Emily,
If you're
we've
gonna
got
go-
season 3 to be filming. You
Yeah,
need
If you're
I
gonna
know.
go down in style.
Oh my God. If that actually does happen, at least the podcast will go viral.
I'll probably on my art.
Wow, this is a
Ruth, would you be the next co-host?
Mate,
If you...
I think this should be a
I give
three-way
permission.
anyway from here on in.
Well, I can't wait to go to Science Park. I'm going to message him after.
Siam Park, man.
I went through the DMs the other day and she did message a water park and I said, Soph, what is this? And she went, yeah, well, we can try and get tickets. It's in another country.
It was Science Park.
Mate,
But I might just take a picture of you and say Ruth wants to come too.
if you get that won't get you anywhere. If you do get free tickets to Siam Park and don't invite me, I am going to be absolutely
We would not go. We'd either go with you or not
Yeah,
go
we've
at all.
said it now.
Yeah.
That's
Like
it,
we
it's on
said
the pod.
with
Don't
Summer,
cut that out.
the-
Don't cut that out. It's on the pod. It's on
We
the pod.
said to someone about the sound bath, so we couldn't
Yeah.
not go with someone now.
Sound baths. They're
Yeah.
funny.
I do
aren't
them
they?
too.
Yeah, but
I'm going to be on one now. Like, hi, Science Park. Hi, Science Park.
Hi, Siam Park. Hi, Siam
Yeah.
Park. Why don't I
will
see if I
work
can get
my
James to
magic.
come with us? Because then we'd definitely get
I was just about to say that.
I would absolutely love it. Hi, James. I would absolutely love it if you came to Science Park.
James definitely
We
won't
would-
listen to this. I'm so sorry.
Thanks for killing our
I'm so
vibe.
sorry to burst your bubble. If I told him I did a podcast, he'd go, okay, great.
Good for you.
Yeah. Okay, well, hope you're well anyway. I watch you, but don't worry about watching me. But, so where are you at with life at the minute?
Oh, God, where am I at with life at the minute? Listen, life feels great at the minute for me. I feel like I'm in a really new season. I feel like I'm in a...
Oh, that's so nice.
Like, I don't know if you've seen all the kind of... I mean, this is old news now probably, but, like, I'm so into the Mel Robbins Let Them stuff.
Oh,
Like,
I love
you know,
that.
all of the...
The let them theory.
It's like if somebody
Oh.
wants to slag you off when you walk out of a room, let them.
I
If
can't
somebody,
lie, I thought you were just talking about a programme. But I'm
Right,
so
no,
into
no,
like a programme.
no. It's like a mentality and a way to live your life, you know? Like if people want to think that about you, let them. Like you know, you can't change the way that people are going to think about you, and me sat worrying about whether you two like me or not is irrelevant to my life, right? So just let them do what they
But
what
we
they
do
need to
like
do.
you.
Thanks,
Yeah, we
appreciate
love
that. Appreciate that. So I feel like life is really good at the moment. I feel like there's I've written a novel.
Oh.
That is a bit of an exclusive.
Ooh.
No one knows that. I haven't told, other than like people who are really close to me, I haven't really talked about it at all. But
That
yeah.
is going to be so good. I just know it.
I've written a novel.
And you've got to remember, I am a psychic. I can tell this is going to be a good one. I see bestseller.
Oh my God.
My God.
I
Said
do,
it here
I feel
first.
it. I feel it. I feel
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So it's
Wow,
called,
that
what
is
I
so
thought
cool.
what I thought love was, and it's like,
Oh.
yeah. I actually wrote
That is
the
so
last
cool.
chapter last night. I finished it last night.
Oh my God.
And it's 85,000 words, and I'm just about to send it to an editor. And it's a bit of a roller coaster of a book, but I'm so proud of it. Like, yeah, I feel like it's about infertility and infidelity, and it's about a girl called Ruby who, it's got a whole load of different forms of grief in it. It's got a whole load of joy and laughter in it, and it's
Oh, I'm so excited.
yeah.
When
I
is
can't-
this coming out? Because my
I've got to
holiday.
get somebody to publish it, right? So the next step
Do you
now
need a
is
front
I
cover?
needed a new holiday book.
Yes! Yes! I got my first design order in ages. Joking, I actually get loads of orders.
I'm joking. I'm really good at my job.
Can I?
Yes, right. I'd love you to.
Oh my God!
Sure, yeah,
No
yeah.
way!
Yeah, I'd love you to. That'd be amazing. So I don't know. Who knows? The thing that I feel most proud of is that I've done it.
So
and
happy.
I've spent hours and hours ploughing into it. I wrote the synopsis and the overview, and I sent it to a few literary agents, and they all really loved it. And so I don't know. We wait and see if anybody wants to publish
That's so
it.
cool.
but,
So do you
it'll
have to
be
like
good.
send it to like Penguin? Is that
I
what-
don't do that. So I wouldn't. So I would send it to a literary agent who would read it and edit
There's
it with
loads
me.
of branches.
And then they would say, let's send it to a whole load of publishers. And then actually what happens is if you're going to get a big book deal, you pick you as the author, you hand pick the publishers, HarperCollins, Penguin Random House, all of that. And they do a brunch with you. And they basically pitch to you how they would market your book.
What Buddy the Elf's dad did.
Like what Buddy the Elf's dad.
Buddy the Elf from Elf.
From Elf, yeah.
That's what his dad does in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you would then sit in a
film.
meeting and they would go, this is how we would pitch it, this is how we would pitch it, this is what we would do. So
that's really cool.
And then you pick your publisher from there, essentially.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think we should do? I think we should celebrate to that with a cookie.
Let's
but
have a
before
cookie.
we have a treat, this episode is sponsored by Pet Buddy. So if your pets need treats, then make sure you go to Pet Buddy. We will put all their, what's it called? Usernames.
Yeah.
We'll put their usernames and everything like that in the description below so you can find them online. These are natural, these are healthy treats, and these are exactly what your pets need. So if you need to be treating your pets, you definitely do. Don't forget about your pets.
And she actually DM'd us on the way here and said your parcels have arrived.
Oh, really? So when I
Yeah.
get home, Nellie's going to have treats?
Yeah, all
Oh,
their products.
that's
And
good.
they've sent me some as well to dish out to my friends. I don't have a dog. But
Oh, do you
my
know
friends
what,
have
actually?
dogs,
How weird is
and my brother has
this?
a dog.
Right.
So, you know,
Dish out.
might even save it for Christmas.
When I was here outside, I was on the phone to Broke and the buzzer went. I went, who's that? And he went, the postman. So that's exactly what that was.
Yeah.
So Nellie's going to have her treats and I'm sure she'll love them.
Yeah.
But
So thank you for
yes,
that.
thank you so much, Pet Buddy, for sponsoring this episode.
Yeah, it's been lovely to work with you.
Now we are going to treat ourselves. So these have kindly been
I move
gifted us.
this?
Yeah. These have kindly been gifted to us by Crumbled Cookie.
Thank you,
So,
Crumbled.
Thank
Let's
you,
try. So those
Crumbled.
ones are stuffed, and then these ones are like New York City style cookies.
There's only one that I've got my eye on
What
before
one is
anyone
it?
takes it, the chocolate orange one. Come on.
Oh, thank God, because I really want this pink one here.
Mate, give me the chocolate orange immediately before I lose my shit. Thank you.
I don't know.
We've got to try
what I
together.
would.
Well,
I love
tell you what,
Kinder
Sophie,
Bueno.
make a decision quickly because I'm ready to eat mine.
I would think I would like Kinder.
I'm going to
Bueno.
get a
Oh,
stuffed
nice on the
one.
Bueno.
I
I'm going
love
to go for a
Kinder.
big, massive cookie because it's
Oh,
just
you've
my
gone
style.
stuffed. Okay, here we go. Hey,
Right.
guys, cheers, right?
Cheers, guys. Ready? Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
ASMR.
Oh, my God.
That's the best thing I've ever had in my mouth. It's not. That's a lie.
What about your husband?
That's definitely not the best. That's a lie. But, I mean, it's a
Wow.
close run second, I'll tell you that much.
I'm actually going to go up to the camera and do a close-up.
Yeah, she's doing close-up vibes. Oh, my God, you can tell you're an influencer.
Look how blurry it is. That was terrible.
Oh, my God. I said to myself when
Wow.
I picked up this cookie, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. That's a fucking lie.
I'm eating it.
I'm going to eat the whole.
I've got 30 more minutes to eat it.
This whole episode's now going to be us eating the cookie.
Yeah. Oh, my God, this is amazing. What's the stuff on?
Oh, it's lovely.
Has that got an Oreo in the middle? Where
Yeah.
are these from?
Crumbled cookie. Crumbled cookie. We're going to put her
Instagram.
details in the description because, guys, if
Lovely
you're not...
lady.
Oh, she's
she actually
lovely.
kindly gifted us because it's our last episode for season 2 until we start season 3, which is so lovely. So lovely.
You know what? I can't eat all of that. Ozempic life.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Ozempic?
I'm not on Ozempic. Ozempic's a brand name, but I'm on semaglutide, yeah.
Oh, really? How'd you
How
find
you
that
getting on
then?
with that?
I've
Yeah.
lost 11 stone.
Wow.
God. Changed my life, mate.
No.
My God. If you're on oral stat, get yourself off that shit.
Really?
Oh, my God.
I've only just started that about 2 days ago.
You went on Ribelsa, so semaglutide is the drug. And within that, there's loads of brands. Ozempic being the most well-known
yeah.
one. Not the most popular anymore, though. So everything else is an injection, but Ribelsis is a tablet. And it's changed my life.
Wow.
Honestly, totally changed my life. I can't even put into words.
11 stone.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
is incredible.
Yeah.
Is there chocolate on my mouth?
No.
No, is there someone?
We're all good.
We're all fine.
I can't really see, so don't
I mean,
ask me.
I wore a red lipstick, which, I mean, my hair looks horrendous.
No, you look really
you look-
fine.
you look very
look
classy.
I look
lovely.
fine. You heard it here first, guys. She's looking fine.
I
yeah?
said classy.
You did say classy.
No, I said
Thank
you look lovely. I thought
And then
you
you said I looked fine, and you coming on to me. Forget the reading. I'm going back to your place.
I the trains are delayed. Good luck.
So I started it a year ago, and it's the best thing I ever did. Honestly, if there's anyone out there that is, these glasses, man, they're fucking, I'm sweating like a pig in it. Oh my God, it's so hot.
You feel hot?
I'm sitting in a blazer. I don't know how you're dicking around in that blazer.
Dicking around like that.
How are you dicking around in a tracksuit? Oh my God.
I have no choice. My other outfit was wet. I was drenched. Like,
Mate, your hair.
Guys,
Your hair. I thought my hair looked bad.
oh, my poor
Your hair is... No, it's fine. It actually looks fine. I don't know what your problem is, but
Jess, you completely wasted your time this morning doing this.
Do you know
wasted
what?
your money as well. You can
Yeah.
Fully
To get
mugged.
here was like
Mug me off.
this. To get to this episode today, it was like treacherous.
Treacherous.
Yeah,
She's
treacherous.
complaining. She lives 15 minutes away.
What are you going
Excuse
on
me.
about?
I had to walk in puddles and like I had to
In the
walk
Dior's.
Well,
In the Dior's.
they're from like Turkey or something.
Right.
So yeah,
North Wales.
yeah, the market somewhere like that. They're
Oh, the
not real
market.
deals.
Oh God, he's put some kind of air on it.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best I've ever felt.
I love that.
I mean,
Thank
he's-
you.
Yeah, you
so
could have done it
funny. You
earlier,
look
mate.
really
I'm only
nice,
joking.
though.
I didn't feel it walking here. My feet, I was literally, at one point, because my feet were getting so dirty, I
was
literally,
on the phone and her shoe flew off.
yeah, my shoe literally went like that. And I was
It's
like,
just
oh
a
my
quick
God.
question though. Why did she wear those?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
These are the
'Cause it's
stupid
not-
things I do.
But it's not like it was bright sunshine and then halfway on your walk you started to throw it down.
It don't fit
It's
the
raining since the
aesthetic.
moment I woke up.
The trainers don't fit the aesthetic.
Yeah, but walk in the trainers and then change it, right?
Yeah, but I just don't.
Be like a real commuter.
I'm not advanced as you up here, Ruth.
You know,
as advanced as
do you
me.
know how she gets about London? On them scooters.
Shut up. I
Lime
love that.
Yeah, and the
What
lime
about a
scooters.
line bike? How do you feel about a line bike?
Yeah, no, I do a line bike as
Yeah,
well.
you're down for a line bike.
Yeah, but I actually fell off a scooter before, nearly twice. It was definitely once, nearly happened.
This
again.
cold air in this room has changed my
Yeah,
life.
you can tell the mood's really shifted in
Honestly,
here
I've
now.
really lifted
Yeah.
a bit of sugar, a bit of cold air. Fucking, I'm anyone's.
Yeah.
Cheap date, me. Put the aircon on and feed me a cookie, and you're
I'm
in.
not hot.
I can't believe you're sat in a full tracksuit and you're not hot.
Oh, look, listen, Mother Nature.
Why am I sitting like that? Why am I sitting like that? Oh my God, I look like a pimp.
PIMP.
Yeah. I need to stop saying this. I've
what
said
do you-
this before.
what do you
in
know about
episodes.
me?
The
We
first time I
tried to
said
get
pimp, I
them.
didn't know what a pimp meant, but now I know what it means, and now I'm sitting here like that. Like, yeah, your brother's definitely not watching this episode.
Vibes. No, he's a big fan of Read Between the Signs.
Oh, is he? Right, let's
No
talk about him then.
way.
For anyone who doesn't
Clickbait.
know, for anyone who doesn't know, tell us who is your brother.
My brother is most well known probably for a show called Gavin and Stacey that he wrote with Ruth Jones. My brother's James Corden.
Wow, lovely. Love
Yeah.
that. That's so cool.
That is so
Is
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
It's
you
weird though
probably-
because lots of people don't like. I'll never forget once I was at a party. This is years ago, and I was with some friends who knew me, and there was a group of people that didn't know me, and we were chatting, and one of the people said, "Oh, what's your brother up to?" And this was sort of around the time we're going back years because he'd just finished the History Boys, and he was about to. Gavin and Stacey was sort of launching, and I started to talk about that, and one of the guys at this party went, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Oh, my brother, he's James Corden." This guy was like, "No, he's not." He said to which I said, "No, he really is." He said, prove it." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Phone him." I said, "I'm not phoning my brother to say, are you James Corden? And are we brother and sister?" He was like, show me your cash
You
card.
really look like him.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, people say that a lot, that we look... I mean, all three of us look alike.
Yeah, because you and your sister look alike, but
Yeah.
actually sitting here with you now, I mean, obviously I've never met your brother, but you do actually really look like him.
Yeah,
We're
no,
quite
you do.
similar in our mannerisms, James and I.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
We're quite... So, yeah, that's who my brother is. What do you want to know?
So cool.
Well, I don't know. Like, how did he get into like becoming who he is? Like, you must have watched him, obviously, in his
Yeah.
journey. So,
So one
what
of the
was that
first
like?
shows he did was a show called Fat Friends, which was
remember
on
that,
ITV,
yeah.
which was a really popular show. And then he actually met Ruth Jones when she was in Fat Friends as well. So that's how those two met. And Gavin and Stacey really was only supposed to ever be a one-off special.
Oh.
So they decided, Ruth from Wales obviously, and they decided that they were going to write an hour special about a guy from Essex and a woman from Wales who got married, because what James would say is that there's never really been a wedding portrayed on TV like a wedding normally is. Like EastEnders is always somebody that rocks up and had an affair, or somebody gets shot, or someone storms in,
or the Vic blows up again.
It's like, oh my God, there's a fire. Like nobody's ever really portrayed that actually weddings are quite boring, right? I mean, they get on my tits.
I love a wedding. You need to come to one of my family weddings. It's brilliant.
The only time a wedding is good, right, is if you're the bride or the groom, or you're part of the wedding party. If you're just a regular guest, get me the hell out of there.
I've never been to a wedding as just a normal guest.
I have.
Oh, that's why you like them then?
Yeah.
Because when your mates, who are mates of mates of mates, start getting married, and you're stood with a glass of fake champagne or Prosecco that tastes like piss in the blaring heat, while everybody's going, right, we need the best man, his 3 best friends, their wives, all their sisters. Okay, and then you're in one shot. Everybody in now, that's it. That's your bit done. The rest of the time, you're just stood there going,
why am I here?
When am I going to eat?
Yeah.
I was about to say, when's the food?
When am I going to dance? I can't be bothered with the speeches because they're also a crock of shit unless you've got decent people. But like, weddings are... So he was really of the mindset that no wedding on TV had ever been portrayed like a wedding. So they wrote this one-off special. They sent it to a guy called Stuart Murphy, who at the time was the commissioning editor of the BBC, of BBC Three. And he said, I love this. Could you give me the backstory? We don't really have a slot on BBC Three at the moment for a special, but we do have something for a 6-parter. Could you give me the backstory of Gavin and Stacey? So they did. And then that is the thing that kind of propelled him. And then he did a play on Broadway called One Man, Two Governors, which honestly is probably the best thing that I've ever seen James do. His son Max had just been born when he started One Man, and I don't really know how he did that play and have a newborn at home. It was like remarkable. He's so good in that. And from that, the head at the time of CBS saw him in that play in New York and met with him and said, I'd really like you to come and take over the Late Late Show. And he toyed with it for ages and then decided that's what he wants to do. And now he's back and he's just about to go and do a play in New York. So that is really, in a nutshell, that's how it started. But
that's so cool.
Yeah.
It was Rob Brydon that... So James did a thing called Cruise of the Gods in the early part of his career with Rob Brydon, Steve Coogan and David Williams. And he said to Rob Brydon, Rob, how do I make it? What do I do? And Rob said, you can't wait for an invite to the table, James. You've got to invite yourself. So my advice to you is that you write something. And then that's when him and Ruth got together.
That is so good. As a child, did he do acting or like...
Oh my God, James as a child, fucking hell. James never wanted to do anything else, right? So he's the middle of us 3. So my sister's the oldest, then James, then me. And I distinctly remember my parents saying, so James left school with 1 GCSE, never ever wanted to be anything other than an actor. He would say that his very first memory of entertaining people was at my christening. So he was called on the stage and he stood on the chair and he started pulling funny faces and everyone in the audience started laughing. And he was like 4 at this stage. Oh. And he says, I got off stage and thought, oh my God, I loved that. Oh. I loved that they laughed at me. I loved that they found me funny. And then it just became, and my parents would say to him, like, will you just go to university? Will you have a backup plan? And I remember him saying, if I have a backup plan, I've failed. If I have a backup plan, it means I'm not going to make it. And that is just not an option.
He thought that if he's in that mindset, then he's
not going to do it. And that was just not
an
option.
I kind of get that, actually.
And I remember when we went to see when we were kids. So my parents would save and save and save to take us to the theatre. And we saw so many great shows. And we went to see a show called Me and My Girl. And we left. And as we left, James said to my dad, it was with Gary Wilmot, who is a great actor, and as we left, he said to my dad, one day I'm going to be in that theatre and I'm going to do a show there. And then when One Man, Two Governors went to the West End, that was the theatre that it was in. My dad took him out round the front and they stood. And my dad said to him, do you remember what you said to me? And James said, no. He said, when we came to see Me and My Girl here, you told me that one day you'd play this theatre. And my brother just burst into tears.
Oh my God.
So he's never, ever not... And James, like, you know, my parents sacrificed a lot, and he would say the exact same if he was here. They sacrificed a lot for him to be able to do what he does. And, you know, my parents schlepped up to London with him for audition after audition. He got knocked back. And I remember another story that my dad tells. They were driving out of London and my brother had auditioned for every boy part by this stage for The Sound of Music. And he was either too tall, not tall enough, too fat, not fat enough, too old, not old. Like every single part that he went for, they were driving out of London and my brother started crying and my dad said to him, do you think it's time to knock this on the head, James? I don't think. And he just said, I can't, Dad. This is the only thing I ever want to do. I can't not do it. And that's just been his...
Luckily, he never gave up.
Oh, yeah. He's never, ever, ever wanted to do anything else, ever.
Yeah. And he's made a lot of, like... I mean, what year did Gavin and Stacey actually come out?
That's a really good question.
I think it was around like 2003 or something.
I think it's 20 years. I think it's been like 17 years. So yeah,
like it's like no one forgets it. Do you know what I mean? So like when that Christmas special come out, it's like the best thing ever. Do you know what I mean? Because of the
love it.
Yeah, because of the actors and because of how they do it. Like it's one of them programs that you go back to after a few years to rewatch. Do you know what I mean? Like they've done it so well. And me and Connor went to Wales once. Right. And we were so close to Barry Island. I was like, take me to Barry Island. And he was like, no, we're going home. I was like, please take me to Barry Island.
I think any woman's ever said, take me to Barry Island.
Yeah. Honestly, mine and Connor's first date was McDonald's. We're so easy going. Yeah, mate. Like, love it. Easy. But that is so nice. So was you all close growing up?
Oh, yeah, like, we're all really close now. Look, I absolutely won the lottery with the family that I got. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but our parents are probably the loveliest people you could ever meet. And the three of us just, like, our whole family is based on my dad telling us if you can't take a joke, you shouldn't have joined, right? It's just been this whole life
I love that.
You love each other fiercely, but you really take the piss out of each other, and you've got to be thick-skinned. And there's no way you can grow up with James and not become thick-skinned. I mean, he will tell you what he thinks. But yeah, we used to. It's funny actually. We used to whenever we used to drive to the south of France on holiday, we used to, in the back of the car, we used to play a TV show. So James was the host, and it was called the John Turd Show, right? And James was John Turd, so he was always the host. Me and Ange were always guests on his show.
John Turd.
John Turd, yeah, the John
Where's
Turd
that
show.
come from? Oh, okay.
I mean, where does anything in our brains?
Like that pork man you talk about.
Yeah, John Pork.
Yeah.
John Pork.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love the way you say pork.
John Pork.
Just could we have a bit of pork?
Anyone for London in pork.
So we used to play the John Turd Show in the back of the car, and James was always John Turd, and we were always guests on it. And we would just crack each other up the whole time. Like, we would just find ways to be silly and be funny. And, you know, don't get me wrong, we could fight and we could argue, less so me and my sister, but James and I have always had a pretty, like, we can go from 0 to 60 and back again in 60 seconds. But we just had the most fun. Like, when I think back to growing up with Ange and James, I just think about laughing and fun and, you know, who can make the other laugh the most. Like, and that's really what our podcast is based on. It's incredibly lowbrow. There's nothing really difficult to listen to in it, but it's just who out of the two of us, who can make each other laugh the most, who can say the thing that's the funniest.
So you're all obviously quite close in age.
Yeah, so my sister will be 50 this year, James will be 47 in August, and I'm 43.
So me and my brother are 15 months apart. I think my mum and dad got bored with me. But
15 months apart.
Growing up, listening to what you were saying about making each other laugh and just being silly, that is how I remember me and my brother being. But
me and my brother like that as well.
Yeah, because you're really close with your brother, aren't you?
My we're 6 years between us, me and my brother. But
shit, just the two of you?
Yeah.
So there's 7 years between me and my sister, and there's a kid in the middle.
Really?
So
yeah, so he was like my son, because when he was born,
of course,
I was like, this is my like doll, like this is my dolly. Like, I did really want a sister, but now I've got him as a brother. I couldn't imagine anything worse than a sister. Like, someone trying to steal my clothes and things like that, and my makeup, absolutely not. So, yeah, me and my brother are really, really close. And, yeah, I just think I think what's so special about having siblings is when you get older and looking back on all those memories. Like, I was going through my camera roll, because obviously we had phones and stuff when we were growing up, and I've got so many videos of, like, us just pissing about and doing the most stupidest things, and so many memories. And I think I feel sorry for people who don't have siblings, because they miss that.
And you know, it's really interesting, because a big part of I don't want to try treatment, and was around how would I feel if I only had one child. There was a really, really big thing for me in that. That sounds like a really bizarre thing to say, and I suppose, you know, there would be a sense that people might think, well, you perhaps didn't want it enough, and that's absolutely not true. But there was a real big thing for me of I was 35 by the point I went for my first IVF appointment, right? I then had to make the decision if I wanted treatment. If that treatment didn't work, you know, you're getting into like 38, 39, you're getting into 40 territory. And then there was this really big thing for me of, what if I only had one? And that's no shade to anybody who decides to have one child or only has one child. Like, you know, only children can have incredible lives, and there's pros and cons to everything, right? But there was a big thing for me around, my siblings have been so crucial in my life in so many ways. They've helped me, they've supported me, they've told me when I'm out of order, they've, you know, allowed me to grow and develop into the person that I am, and have been so patient and kind with me, that the thought of actually not having that as part of a family was something that I really struggled with.
Yeah, like you had your childhood is important to you.
Absolutely.
And you wanted to...
Absolutely.
If you ever did, obviously, have that reflecting onto... I do get that.
Yeah,
100%.
I do get that.
I don't think I'd be able to have kids without them knowing that they would or wouldn't have a sibling.
Yeah,
If they wouldn't have a sibling, I don't think I'd have any, to be honest.
That was a really big thing for me. Less so for Matthew. He's got a brother, and they're close and they get on, but for me, I was like, my God, my siblings. There's points where I look back and my sister's 7 years older than me. I was 7, she was 14. She was looking after me. Both our parents worked. You know, there's such a close relationship between Ange and I. She is, without doubt, one of, you know, my greatest cheerleaders. And so to think that I wouldn't have had that, or I wouldn't have had what I had with James, was all a bit too painful to think about, really.
Yeah.
And that was a big marker in my decision. So, yeah.
No, I do get that.
You know, with the infertility side of things, do people ever, like, say to you, why wouldn't you just adopt then?
Oh, what great question. That's such a great question. Yeah. So we get that a lot. And so what I've started to say is, firstly, there's no just in adoption, right? You're taking on a child that's got huge amounts of trauma.
Yeah.
And in my day job, I work with children that have been adopted. I'm a social worker, so I know that stuff quite well. The other thing that I say now to people is, well, why don't you adopt? Because it's not down to the infertile community to solve the problem of fostering and adoption. Everybody should take a moment and go, could I offer a home to a kid that doesn't have it?
Yeah.
So if we're going to start asking infertile couples if they would adopt, then fertile couples have also got to go, could we do this too?
Yeah.
And it was interesting, because I was with my friends Andy and Claire a few weeks ago, and I've known Andy since I was 17, and he said to me, why have you two never adopted? And I just said, why have you two never adopted? And he didn't know what to say. He was like, what? I was like, if I had 2 kids or 1 kid, would you ask me that question? No. Well, then why are you asking me them?
Yeah.
Because the whole of society has a duty and responsibility to see if there's a space in their household for a kid that's had an awful life. Everybody does.
And I think as well, they've got to also, like you said, like think about that trauma that comes with it. And when somebody has a baby that doesn't have problems conceiving and things like that, they haven't got to worry about that. So to adopt is actually probably a lot harder.
Oh, the parenting that those children need, that restoring of attachments and rebuilding safety and security, even for children that are removed very early, because we know that stuff in utero has a huge impact on brain development now. You know, we know that there's early years, first 6 months, first 10 months, vitally important to how children grow and develop later on in life and into adulthood. So my throwback is always, well, why don't you just adopt? And people never really know what to say back to that, because there's a stark reality that it's like, oh God, just because I have got birth children, I haven't considered that.
Yeah.
And
it is so true.
Yeah, like everybody, and Matthew and I have toyed with fostering, we've toyed with adoption, we've had loads of conversations about it. I don't know for me that fostering is dead. I don't think I would ever adopt, but I don't know that for me fostering is dead. I think foster carers are remarkable people. But yeah, there's a space to say back to people. And, it's interesting, isn't it? Because when you meet somebody for the first time of a certain age, you get, are you married? What do you do for a living? And have you got any kids? Well, that person might be going through a divorce, have just lost their job and can't have children. Yeah. And so when we ask those questions in a flippant way, and so when people say to me, do you have children? I've started saying, no, I can't have kids. And you instantly get the, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I just say, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I'm fine with it. Maybe just think about whether that's a question.
Yeah,
that is worth asking.
I've always said this because I know people like in my family have had miscarriages and like struggle to conceive and things like that, and it made me, but if I never experienced that firsthand, I would have never have thought as that question as, oh, I should probably think about asking somebody that. But I do feel like it's something that people should definitely be more mindful of, and it's not even something which is like, you know how people say everyone's so sensitive and it's like a snowflake generation and things like that. I do feel like that's not even a part of that though. No. I feel like that is something which we should just think about.
Absolutely.
Because the impact that would have on somebody. Say, for example, that morning they got a phone call saying their round of IVF has failed. Yeah. And you've gone, hi, nice to meet you. Do you have kids? And it's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is odd when you actually think about it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they're the three main things, aren't they? Are you married or have you got a partner? What do you do for a living? And have you got any kids? And I feel like all three of those things come with huge amounts of potential emotional difficulty, right? Even if you rock up to somebody and say, are you married or have you got a partner? And you don't know that night their partner just walked out on them, right? Yeah. It's like we've got into this space in society that they're like the three things we have to check off when we meet someone, when actually that shit doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter if you're married, it doesn't matter if you've got kids, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. Actually what matters is how kind you are in the world, how you show up in spaces, how you engage with people, how you look people in the eye. And it's interesting. I love Brené Brown. I absolutely love Brené Brown. She's remarkable. And there's a quote of hers where she says that, you know, what her mum taught her was not to look away from people's pain, to look it in the eyes. And, you know, and that's what's important about people. I couldn't give a shit what somebody does for a job. What I care about is how they rock up in the space with me, who they are, whether they're authentic, whether they're true to themselves. And so I think there's just a sense of you can get to know somebody really quickly without even having to ask those questions a lot of the time. You know,
if someone answers no or not the particular answer you'd have expected to all three questions, does that mean that they're not a good person?
Exactly
like,
that.
Do you know what I mean?
Or that they failed, or that their life isn't where it should be.
There's no right or wrong, is there? And I think it just comes down to personal choice as well. Like, you want to get married, but I'm not particularly fussed. Do you know what I mean? You got married. You have sunbeds, but I don't.
Mate, sunbeds.
I love a sunbed.
No! Don't want a sunbed!
But, do you know what I mean? I think everything comes down to choice. And it does. I don't think there's no... Way back when, I think there was there was a rule book, you know. Yeah. You have to be married before. Even my nan says stuff to me you know, I had my first, I think she had my dad at 16. Right. And I remember her saying to me that wasn't okay because I wasn't married to your my real granddad. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So but then now children are children, aren't they? 16, having children. Yeah. And it's like, no worries.
My brother's just turned 16. If I couldn't imagine him even pushing a buggy or changing a nappy.
I mean, if there's any 16-year-olds listening, don't get pregnant.
He wouldn't even pick up the dog's poo.
Do you know what I mean? It's interesting though, isn't it? Because there isn't, you know, I remember my sex ed at school. It was like, if you have sex, you're going to make a baby. And there's actually a real space, I think, for us to start to be honest with children and young people about infertility and the way that it can shape your life. Because I remember... So the stuff for my generation was probably teenage pregnancy and drug and alcohol. I think the generation after me is probably more about mental health and social media and stuff. But I remember my mum saying to me, you know, if you're going to a party, don't take anything. If somebody, don't get too drunk. You know, drugs and alcohol are on the decline for my nieces and nephews' generation. It's just not something that people are doing as much. But there's this notion, isn't there? Yeah, There's a massive, massive decline.
I don't drink at all.
I don't drink either.
So it's really interesting because... I can get a bit technical here if you want me to. It might be a bit boring. Cut it out if you want to. But so if you look at the axis of children and young people and what the thing is of their generation, 2010, teenage pregnancy goes down, drug and alcohol goes down, all of that stuff on this axis decreases in the generation. And what goes up is social anxiety, depression, mental health. Do you know what came out in 2010? The first iPhone.
Oh, my God.
So you see this decline because young people aren't going out as much. Young people aren't having to socially interact. But what you see is this complete sharp rise of really big social anxiety.
Well, that makes complete sense.
We say this all the time.
I mean,
don't
I
we?
don't drink, but I've got screen time of 24 hours.
24 hours.
But you see, the thing is, right? If I wanted to
Not
go,
normal.
if I wanted to go to my mate, I'm a classic out and out millennial. I am like peace sign pouting my whole life, right?
Millennial pause.
I am an out. The doorbell goes, and I'm like, fucking hell, who's that? They're gonna rob my house, right? I am an out and out.
Turn all the
millennial.
lights off.
Turn all the lights off. I get halfway around the supermarket, didn't pick up a basket, and I'm thinking, oh my god,
That's what I do,
right,
yeah.
total millennial, yeah. But if I wanted to see my best friend, I had to phone from my house phone.
I thought you was going to say you had to send like a pigeon.
Pigeon, yeah, 43.
That always reminds me of Harry Potter.
Oh yeah. I had to phone from my landline, phone her landline. Her mum would answer. I'd have to have a chat with her mum.
I remember doing
right?
that, yeah.
I'd get on my bike. I'd ride around, knock on the door. Hiya, Pat. Hi, is Catherine in? Yeah, in you come. If my nephew wants to see his friend, he picks up a phone. He presses a button, hiya. So he doesn't have to talk to anyone else. There's no social interaction with anyone else. Unless his parents turn off the Wi-Fi because he's done something wrong. If he's grounded, he don't give a shit. He's like, amazing. I'll sit in my room. I'll interact. And this is the problem with social media, right? It's like, for me, for my generation, for us millennials, it's an extension of who we are. For my nephew's generation, it is who they are. And that's why at that axis you see such a decline, because social anxiety is like way on the rise. Young people not knowing how to interact with other people. Young people not knowing how to walk into a room and do an interview because they've never had to do it. Other than school, they've never had to do it.
How do you think I handle myself?
Oh, remarkably well.
Oh, thank you.
I
Ruth.
never, ever, ever would have thought you were 21.
Really?
Oh my God. When you told me you were 21, I was like, holy shit, you are well together for 21. If I'd have been like you when I was 21, I'd have been fucking buzzing.
Yeah.
I was all right prick.
What about me?
That.
I mean, you're in a tracksuit.
Yeah.
And her hair.
You've got your glasses on your head to keep your hair out your face.
Right, don't tell everyone.
You spent 40 quid on a hair that looks...
That's really
Babe.
made my day.
Listen, I think you're both
Sorry,
remarkable.
sorry.
You're both in your 20s, right? 26.
Yeah.
I think you're both in... Look, I would hate to be in my 20s now. I'd absolutely hate it.
I love being in my
Oh
20s.
my God.
I hate it though because of the social media.
Oh, this is the best decade of my life. There is no doubt about it. Turning 40 has been the best thing for me. I hated it at the time. I had a
That gives
breakdown.
me so much hope after
Honestly.
my breakdown.
Cyan Park.
Lazy River.
We're on our
you
way,
make it-
Cyan Park.
Let's hope you make it to 40.
I'm so excited.
Let's hope you make it. Just to bring back that very live fear that you're going to die.
I will. I keep telling myself, I was like, you will see 80, Sophie.
You will, Sophs. Can I call you Sophs?
Of course you can.
Mate,
Can I call you
maybe.
Ruths?
You can call me Rudy.
The
You know that Rudy is named after me, right? In Gavin
The
and Stacey.
character.
Yeah.
Is that his sister? That's his sister.
Yeah, so Rudy is Smithy's sister, and her name is Ruth, and my nickname
Don't get
growing
me
up...
on Gavin and Stacey because honestly,
Well, you know that I'm in it.
I love it.
Yeah, so I introduce Rudy. So I introduce Sheridan's character. So they pull up at the drive-through. Smithy's gone over.
Oh my God, you're the drive-through
I'm
lady!
working number 6.
Oh my God!
And if you watch the credits, it very clearly says drive-through worker number 6, Ruth Corden.
I'm putting that on tonight. I'm putting
So
that on again tonight.
the car pulls up and I say,
Oh
yes,
my
please.
God.
And Gavin says, is Smithy there? And I go, Smithy, she's just coming. So I'm the original Rudy. Obviously my name's Ruth, and so Rudy isn't based on me, but the relationship that Smithy and Rudy have is very close to the the fight they have. You're a dick. You're a dick.
Yeah,
That's basically James and I. We'd rap 24/7. You got the American Girl rap in
Oh,
there.
I love
No,
that.
that
the
rap-
I mean, I
best.
can do that rap.
There's
no
no-
problem.
Can you do it, Ruth?
Yeah.
Can we do it now?
Yeah.
Go.
Right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. You two do it. I'm going to observe.
I'm in the UK. Everybody
I'll
want
be
to say
the
UK. Reluctantly, because most of this press don't fuck with me. Estelle once said, tell me cool.
Down, down.
Don't act a fool.
Now, now.
I always act fool. Ow, ow. Ain't nothing new. Now, now. He crazy. I know what you're thinking. Rabina, I know what you're drinking. Rap singer, Chamberlinger. Holler at the next chick soon as you're drinking. What's your persona about this Americana drama and my shadow? Because all my clothes designer. So he spoke like a London bloke. Before he speak, his soup he spoke. And he thought he was cute before. Look at this peacock, tell me he's broke. Woo! And you know, hanging and all that. I heard your lyrics, I feel your spirit, but I still talk that cash. There's a lot of words, wanna hear it. And I know they're making the baddest, like the Pips and the Gladys, and I know they love it, so to hell with all that rubbish.
You know what? We have got to end the episode on that, because that's just iconic.
To end the episode.
Sorry, can we just put this down in history? We've just sang that song.
Oh my God, life is made. If I died now, no worries.
Siam Park.
Completely cured.
That was brilliant. Right. Is there anything that you want to say for like final words here, Ruth? Or
Just
give any
thank you
advice
so much for having me. Honestly,
I
you
think this
two
has
are
been
like the best tonic.
Oh.
You're so fun to spend time with. You're just brilliant, and I'm so happy that you invited me on. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you, and
I
it's been
can't
so
wait
much
for
fun.
this to come out next Sunday.
No,
now.
I cannot wait. Like, I am so excited.
I'm so
And I've
excited.
absolutely loved this episode, this filming, everything. Like, Ruth, you are literally amazing.
Oh,
and you're an
thank you so much.
inspiration. And I'm
mate,
sure
that's
like
so
this
kind.
episode's either helped people, made people laugh. I'm sure it's been a mix of everything.
Yeah.
And we're just so grateful to have you on today.
You've got
so
two
thank
little
you.
friends now.
Yes,
Yes.
And I am designing your front cover.
yes,
And we are going Siam Park.
Siam
Siam
Park.
Park.
Okay, right.
Go
Are
on.
you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Read Between the Signs. This episode has been brought to you by Pet Buddy. We will leave all their amazing information in the description below, so please do check them out. And make sure you follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and you can also listen on Spotify. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Season 3.
Yep. See ya. Bye.